Now you can't not love that, and you can just tell she's just glowing with energy. I mean, this is really, really awesome to see this. A lot of people are trying to lose weight. Some people do it in a really healthy way, and other people destroy their metabolism over it. So in this video, we're going to review massive weight loss transformations. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And what I'll do is I'll save my favorite transformation at the end. But before we get started, I'm Dr. Zyrowski, and welcome to the channel. I'm here to transform your life naturally because true health only comes naturally.
In 2009, fans of The Biggest Loser couldn't believe their eyes when Danny Cahill took the stage during the finale. The Season 8 winner looked like a completely different person.
Wow, now that is crazy, to weigh over 430 pounds and then to go and lose well over 200 pounds. First of all, you have to understand, if you weigh that much, it didn't happen overnight. That took years to accumulate that much weight. And then to think that he lost over 230 pounds in the course of the show. The show is like 7 months long. How did he lose that much weight? Let's look into this a little further.
Which was absolutely incredible even for The Biggest Loser. After having children and not being able to keep up with them, he signed up for the popular game show, and it totally paid off.
That's an interesting statement, and the reason it's so interesting is because I work with people every day who are in that very same position. What happens? They go to college, they start their career, they start a family, they're buying a house, life happens, they're thinking about everybody but themselves. But then all of a sudden they look back, they look at themselves in the mirror, and what do they see? They see themselves over 50 pounds overweight, their health deteriorating, symptoms popping up all over. It's such a common story. We have to make sure that even though we're putting a lot of effort into other areas of our life, we don't forget our health, because literally it's the most important thing that we have. So make sure that you remember that one.
Not only did he win the huge cash prize, but he could actually lead an active lifestyle with his family. Sadly, after the show stopped filming, the 8th season winner put about 100 pounds back on.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting, because here's what happens when people lose weight unsustainably. They go and they gain a bunch of weight back. There was actually a study on this show, and it was the National Institute of Health. What they looked at is 14 participants. And when they looked at these 14 participants, 13 out of the 14 gained significant amount of weight back after the show, and 4 of them weighed more post-show than they did prior to the show. What does that tell us? That tells us everything they did in order to lose weight was going about it the wrong way.
Apparently, their metabolisms dropped significantly after being on the show, which leads them to pile on the pounds. Thankfully, Danny has taken his health back in his hands and continues to work on remaining healthy for his family.
See, this is such an important point. Now, one of the things that you have to look at is that in this show, they were calorie deficiting people like 3,500 calories. You shouldn't be in that kind of a deficit. That is totally unhealthy. In this show, in many cases, they were exercising 6, 7, 8 hours per day. They were also going and just crushing their metabolism. When they look at a lot of the metabolic function in these individuals post-show, what they found is that in many cases, they're burning hundreds and hundreds of calories fewer than someone else their size who never went through that weight loss transformation that they went through. So what does this tell us? It tells us that, well, yes, you can lose a lot of weight in a very short period of time, but it also tells us there's a healthy way to go about it, and there's also a way that you shouldn't go about losing weight unless you want to have some problems down the road.
But one of the most dangerous ways to slim down is prolonged fasting, and one man took it to the extreme when he stopped eating altogether for over a year. For the entire duration of this unconventional weight loss journey, Barbieri took potassium, sodium, and vitamin supplements since he wasn't getting any nutrients from food. And he didn't refrain from drinks either, but the ones he had were very low-cal. They included mineral water, tea, and black coffee.
I want to say, now, this is one of the longest recorded fasts, and it's truly insane, 382 days. If you are going to fast any length even close to this, I mean anything like 7 days or more, you need to be working with a healthcare professional. You need to make sure that you're getting the right things. As you can see in this video, they were saying, hey, look, he was taking potassium, he was taking sodium, he's taking multivitamins. He was actually being monitored by professionals, which is an important aspect of this.
But he was given the green light to go home, since his body was adapting to the hunger so well.
Now that's truly crazy. So he was obese, he was looking for a way to lose weight, he went to a nearby hospital, and what did they suggest to him? They suggested that he do a fast. Now, they didn't suggest that he should actually fast any longer than like 40 days, but they recommended it to him. I mean, could you imagine you go to your doctor's office, and like I'm talking about your traditional doctor that most people are going to, and you're overweight, and you're like, well, what do I do about it? And they're like, well, you should do a fast. That's really what you need. Like, not in a million years. They're gonna be like, well, you know what? Bariatric surgery is a pretty good option for you. I mean, you're not gonna hear about fasting. I mean, in most cases, they don't even tell you to start eating better or doing anything like exercise. It's like, well, surgery would be a good route.
The only thing that Scott had to do was leave his job at his dad's fish and chip shop because, well, that would have been way too tempting.
You know, anybody who's fasted for any period of time, whether it's 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, whatever it is, you understand that statement of like when you haven't eaten in days. I mean, you can have the most simple things, and let me tell you, it is delicious. It's like, it's the best way to like get rid of your bad cravings and start on a new path towards better eating, because you lose all of those different cravings that you were having, all those things that you were addicted to, and you could literally eat like the most simple thing, like steamed squash, and be like, oh my gosh, like this is heavenly. So only somebody who's truly fasted can understand that statement.
After 382 days, the now unrecognizable man had lost a whopping 276 pounds.
Okay, so he lost a total of 276 pounds. That is an incredible weight loss transformation. However, I don't recommend what he did. The guy only lived to 50 years old. So there was something very wrong with his overall health, because obviously, you shouldn't have a heart attack. Your heart shouldn't give out when you're like 50 years old. So, I think that the transformation he had was great, but there's so many better ways to go about doing this now. And now even today with like modern science, there's a lot of modern science around fasting. Now, a lot of times people just think that science is only related to medicine and bariatric surgery and that kind of thing when it comes to improving your health, but science is 100% related to all the different natural things out there. And so what we can do, instead of following this guy's path, what we could do actually in order to do it in a healthful way is to eat a good high-fat diet, pull out the carbs to making sure that we're eating low carbs, and eat moderate protein. The other thing that we can do is we can use intermittent fasting on a daily basis, like a 16-8 intermittent fasting, and then do like a 3 to 5 day water fast once a month. And you're gonna get incredible results. I mean, doing all of that is gonna be so transformational. A lot of times back in the day, people didn't really have answers as to what was bad, what was good. And I guess thanks to their donation of their life and body to science, we're able to see that this stuff isn't really the best for you. But here's the thing, we always want to lose weight in a sustainable way, and that's what we're learning. So, like I mentioned, healthy diet, intermittent fasting, throw in a 3 to 5 day water fast here and there, you're going to be doing great.
And she did in a very impressive way. Come on out, Mary.
Now, you can't not love that. The mental transformation that has to take place for her to get from where she was to where she is now is incredible. The mental place as to where she was to where she is now is incredible. And it's a big thing for people trying to lose weight, right? Trying to just get over that hurdle to kickstart the proper diet, the exercise, the weight loss. It's a big mental challenge and a big mental game. So super huge props to her.
And what did you say?
I wanted to prove them wrong. I wanted to find that fire in me and know that I could do this on my own.
Now, of course, if you're already in a position where you're like, I will not do surgery, and you're told by your healthcare professional that surgery is the only way to handle this, I mean, that's devastating. That's devastating. That makes you give up and that makes you not take action. And of course, as you can see in this case, and you can see in so many cases around the world, that surgery is not the answer to this sort of thing. Surgery is bad advice, and it's horrible that that was what she was told.
Every morning, I start my day with a protein blast. Turkey bacon or turkey sausage with scrambled egg whites. And to keep me full for the rest of the morning, water. Lots of water.
Now, I love what she's doing here. I mean, for me personally, I would prefer you intermittent fast, but overall, this is great. I mean, eggs, you're getting a lot of nutrients there. You're getting lots of good fats in there. You're throwing in some turkey bacon, that's good. So really, really good option for breakfast. Love what she's doing. And then staying hydrated in between, really smart move.
This keeps me satisfied till lunch, when I reach for my low-carb wrap with light mayonnaise or mustard, lean deli meat, lettuce, tomato, and onion. On the side, a small serving of baked chips or pretzels, and fruit or a light Greek yogurt for dessert. And water, lots of water.
Okay, love what she's doing there for lunch too. I love the low carb wrap. You know, you can go get these egg wraps out there and these different keto wraps. They're excellent. But one of the things, of course, I don't like so much about this lunch is that she's throwing in some pretzels, some chips, that kind of stuff. We could definitely do without that because that's only going to hinder some weight loss results. Now, here's the thing too, is that maybe mentally she needs a little bit of that in order to keep her on track. Maybe mentally that's a big deal to her. If you came off a really unhealthy diet and you need that little snack in there, throwing something in there like that can be something that really helps keep you on track. The other thing I love as to what she's doing here is she constantly says, I drank water, lots of water. That's a big move and that's an important move. First of all, it's important because most people aren't drinking water. They're drinking coffee, they're drinking an iced coffee, they're drinking tea, they're drinking soda, they're drinking energy drinks, they're drinking a lot of things but water. Now, that's bad because first of all, there's a lot of calories in that kind of stuff. But the other reason that it's bad is if you're just not drinking enough liquids in general, what happens in many cases is you mistake thirst for hunger. And then instead of getting something to drink, you go and eat a bunch of calories that you don't need. So drinking lots of water is a really good way to stay, of course, hydrated, but also keep yourself full throughout the day and not be adding in unnecessary calories that your body didn't necessarily want.
I keep my snacks high in protein, low in carbs, turkey pepperoni, and a light string cheese.
I like what she's doing there with the snacks. I mean, high in protein, low in carbs, that's good. I prefer personally to not snack at all. That's the way I prefer it. But once again, that works for me. And mentally, she may need those snacks in order to help get her through the day. And maybe that's just the place she is. And then she could work towards pulling out snacks in order to get better results.
And for dinner, I go for a healthy twist on Chinese takeout. Usually spiral zucchini, a noodle stir fry with chicken, and a little sesame oil with veggies. And again, water, lots of water.
Now her dinner is like literally spot on, right on point. I mean, you can't really get a much better dinner than that. So she's doing a great job there. Let's go ahead and see what she does next.
For a little late night indulgence, I may treat myself to a scoop of light ice cream because you can't deny yourself too much.
Now, I love what she does there with the ice cream, and you may be surprised to hear me say that, but you can't deny yourself too much. A lot of times people start to discipline themselves as if they're a child. They deny themselves of everything, and it's like, oh, I'm eating healthy. I can only eat leafy greens, and I can't eat the things I love. You have to make sure that you're putting in the things that you love. I talk all the time about making lateral shifts. So she may be eating like a dairy, sugar-rich ice cream. A good lateral shift to that would be eating something like an almond milk ice cream sweetened with xylitol and erythritol. So making sure that you get those things that you love. When I work with people, one of the things I ask them, what are the foods that you love? And I specifically make it a point to make sure that I find lateral shifts for them to really make sure that they're getting all the foods that they love. Maybe you love ice cream, like I said, here's a better option for ice cream. I still want you to eat ice cream if that's what you love. I just want you to eat a healthier version of it. So this is really awesome. I mean, what she's doing is so on point. We can't deny ourselves, and it's important, especially if you have a family, that you take this information that maybe you learn, that you're implementing into your life and transforming your life, and you teach it to your kids. So everything she's doing is so on point. She's making healthy pizza for the family. She's making it for herself. She knows some of these different lateral shifts. She's going in and not denying herself. Love it, love it, love it. So these are the things that you need to do. And if you want to learn more about lateral shifts so that you can live a healthy lifestyle, watch this video here. One of the things that happens to people when they start eating a healthy diet is they start to crave the old foods that they really enjoy. Those old foods, those junk foods, they come back to haunt you and you want to start eating them again.